Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another Sunday night of shenanigans. Finally, we're back. It's been a few weeks. Yeah, we had to cancel the last couple of weeks because the old Four Horsemen were not very scary. Four Horsemen of the apocalypse. They're all sitting at home, bloody, with the sniffles. So, and I've been absolutely flat out, which was weird for me. So I just didn't really have time to organise new shows or whatever. So we couldn't do it again tonight with the Four Horsemen because one of them's watching the friggin' stupid rugby. So he pulled out just to watch the rugby. So, but anyway, we should be able to get
they got a lot of excuses, mate. Sounds like these horsemen are they're riding ponies.
So they might be the My Little Ponies by the sound of it.
We might have to, I don't know, give them a smack around or something. We'll say a quick hello to our panel first. We've got just the regulars tonight. We've got the Disgruntled Octopus, Chris, and Judda. How you guys all going?
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah. Good. One day at a time.
Yeah. We've all been. You guys have all been sick with the COVID all at the same time.
Yeah.
It was a pretty dubious night, mate. How we caught it.
It's a story for another time.
How you all holding up? We were just talking about it just before the show, so we've kind of been repeating ourselves to each other. But you're still struggling with it a bit, Chris, aren't you?
Yeah, the fatigue is shocking. Like, I mean, I know most people will be happy that I'm not running, but usually I'm running, four times a week, up to 40 to 50K, and I'm lucky if this month I've done a total of, 12K.
Same.
Yeah, even walking. Actually, I struggle to walk. Like, I just start getting drowsy, all sniffy, and I get real bad aftertaste. It's really, really kind of taken me by surprise. Even now, I'm feeling drowsy, and I haven't done anything all day. Just like literally, I've done nothing.
Looks like you're running some diet through your hair, mate.
You're literally explaining my life.
So, but otherwise, I'm smiling and pushing through. That's all I can do.
And you were just saying you're struggling with it a little bit, Judda, as well, still.
Yeah, I got lucky with COVID. I think I had probably an 8-hour patch where I felt like shit, but I didn't stop sort of working the whole time. I was stayed flat out, and I try to mentally beat sicknesses and illnesses like that. I try and tell myself that I'm not sick, and I just keep working and get through it. So I got pretty lucky. Like, I didn't get the sore throats and the coughs, and I didn't get any of that. I just got some aches and chills there through the middle of the night one night, and it was brutal for like an 8-hour period. And then it's kind of good. A little bit chesty the next day, and then cruised through it. I've been sort of negative as of last Monday now, but each day now, it gets to about that 3-4 o'clock point in the day, and I feel absolutely knackered. The fatigue does kick in, but I soldier through. But like last night, I sit up till 11 at night. I get up at 5 o'clock every day, regardless, and start my work day. And yesterday, I bombed out at like 9:30 and woke up at 7. So I haven't done that in 10 years, slept that long. So it was the fatigue's kicked in a little bit. So I've copped it worse the week after having COVID than what I did when I had COVID.
That sucks. And what about you, Octopath? You had it for quite a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out how to weaponize it.
It could be. Well, I think China already did that, didn't they?
I just have to go on the Chinese Wayno show.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, we'll say hello to the chat, and then we'll get stuck into it. Megan is watching that bloody other footy. Chris collects things, and he also sells things. It is great to be back. Josh, how you going? Rack Raiders, books along with stuff. Brad and Jazz, evening all, just made it home to eat dinner and sit down for a Sunday session. Nice. Watching them both at the same time. That's all right. I don't mind that. Mrs. Donaldson. Chris, you're here. Wow Games. What up, guys? Tash. Of course, the baby won't go to sleep. Hope everyone is well. Hope your puzzle's going well. Tash bought that 18,000 piece puzzle off me. So yeah, I'd rather it you than me that's going to be putting it together. I told her she was a psychopath for buying it. Oz Riley, Scotty, how you going, mate? Dave, Recommerce Dave. I was struggling yesterday to walk so much alcohol. Maybe that was your problem, Judda. It's not. It's not the COVID. It's the virus beaters that you.
Plenty of virus beaters that got me through. So
Daniel-san, Tobes, Bowden. I'll keep you updated on the puzzle. Yeah, let me know in like 17 years when you finished it. Brendan, oh, great to be on school holidays. Yes, it is school holidays. I didn't know until I saw Christian posted it in his stories the other day. All right, we'll get stuck into it. We've got our new segment, Show and Tell. Who wants to go first? Any takers? I'll go first.
If I stay really still, you won't see me.
Mine's not very good, so I'll go first. It's not too bad. It's a DVD, which sounds pretty shit and boring. But the reason I wanted to show this is I just picked up a ton of these. This is not your sort of average DVD. This is from the Warner Brothers Archive Collection. It's an archive collection written up the top there. Can't really see it. And if you look at the disc, you can't really tell probably in the video. It looks like a burnt disc because it kind of is a burnt disc. So these are made to order from Warner Brothers. You can go to their website. They don't print, have a print run of them or whatever. You just go to their website, order the movies you want, and they send them to you. And they cost a bit of money. Like, it's not cheap to get them done. So I find these in the op shops every now and then, and they usually sell for like $30-$40. It's crazy. Because they've never been released, basically. So when you find them, they're really good. So there are other companies, Sony have them. Just look for something like Archive Collection or something written on the front. I just picked up a bulk deal off a guy 10 days ago, 3,000 DVDs, and he was a collector, and all he collected was old classic movies, and like this. And there is a shit ton of these in there. I was so happy. I paid $1,000 for 3,000 DVDs.
Wow.
Probably easy 10 grand there. I think I probably clear 10 grand like net. So I was pretty happy. There's tons of these in there. There's none of them. Every time I look one up, there's none of them listed in Australia. There's a few listed overseas, but that's it. But yeah, like I find them in the op shops semi-regularly. So just thought I'd share that with people because they do look like a burnt disc. They got the purple disc on the back. So that's it. That's mine. A DVD. I won't do a DVD every week, but I just thought that was a bit sort of might be able to help people. So who wants to go next? Chris. I'm just going to point someone out.
So those that have been watching last week, I did a video around some of the Lego stuff that I picked up. I haven't been thrifting, to be honest. I haven't properly thrifted for probably about 4 weeks now. It was just so happened that I went into that shop while getting chicken food, and they were selling the Lego. But anyway, so if you haven't checked that video, go do. But I've got some minifigures here, and I know Octo will keep me honest, but these little minifigs, like these range from anywhere between $20 to $40 that I'm about to show you. Some of them maybe even more depending on conditions and whatnot. It's probably going to be a bit hard to see, but these are, for instance, the ones I'm showing you at the moment. These are 4. Like this is Princess Leia from Jabba's slave ship, and like what's crazy is like these are 4 minifigs, and I've been starting to part them out. It'll be in this week's video. Probably got about 250, 300 minifigs, and there's 4 there that will range, from 25 to that Princess Leia could go up to $60. And that's just 4 items, right? And it's crazy how much we probably walk past when you see a bundle of Lego. But I do want to be very clear that when you do look through Lego, you have to be willing to, if it's $10 and you're getting like a kilo of Lego, that's probably pretty good, because usually a kilo of Lego you can probably sell for $30, $40, $50 depending what it is. But it would be something that I would encourage people to take a bit of a gamble on if it's, low cost to you, because it's a lot of fun. But I also know it's a lot of, I had a lot of comments where people were like, it's too much effort for me, wouldn't do it. And to be frank, like I went through that deal and it was 35 kilos of Lego. And I didn't even look at it like in detail. I was able to just see top level and know, this is good enough because I've sold it before. So really just wanted to show the figures to help you see that, you don't have to be trying to get, hundreds of kilos of Lego. You might be able to just get, a bundle lot of minifigs and see, and you can quickly comp them. Just do Google Lens, look them up on Bricklink or on eBay, and you'll soon see what they sell for. It's crazy. I've been going through them today with Carla, and I'm surprised with how much some of these go for. A lot of these, the bundle that I got were from 2013, so they are a bit older. But yeah, surprise.
So some of the minifigs that come in the sets, that's the only way you can get them, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. That's why they're worth a bit more, because if, for instance, some of the clone troopers, like they might come out on a regular basis, different versions and etc. But there's mass pop of them. Whereas this Princess Leia, this is in the slave outfit. So the only chance to get this is, I think they've only released 2 versions of that, one early 2000s or late 90s, and then there's the one in 2013. So like the chances of getting something like that, you can only get it from 2 sets, whereas you might find this a bit more regular, etc. So and this one isn't even Star Wars. This is from a Miners Explorer one, I think. I can't remember what it's called, but I had no idea about this, so I had to look it up. And yeah, it's quite sought after because they never released any more of that series of Lego since 2012, I think it was. Could have even been earlier. So it's crazy. I'm learning lots, and I've sold plenty of Lego before.
Yeah, cool. I'll have to go through my Lego in the garage. It pisses me off when people say Legos. It's just always Lego. Got some 80s stuff there, I'm sure. Yeah. The Legos annoys me more than Lego. There was a couple of. I didn't understand this. Sorry. Is there a number in the middle of the disc? I'm not sure what you mean. Like the middle of a disc has a hole in it. I don't know, but they're all region free too. They don't actually say a region on them, so
maybe he's referring to when they print it. Maybe they number it, so then they know how many have been printed.
Yeah, possibly.
Which would be pretty cool if they do, because then you can kind of say how much is in circulation.
Yeah, you can see. I haven't even looked that closely before, but in the right lighting, I can see a number inscribed around the disc, around the inside of the disc. I'm not sure what that means. If you know what that means, books on this stuff. But yeah, it's probably just like what you said, Chris. Got some of those types in Anne of Green Gables. Yeah, like I've got the guy that I just got this lot off. There's series and everything that he's like. He must have cost him a fortune to get them over. Is the octopus going to show us who he is in show and tell?
Ask your mum; she knows who I am.
Oh.
Nelly, how you going? I think we remember paying heaps for it as a kid and building it, saved up for. It's probably worth heaps too now. Probably worth even more. My grail is to find a Cloud City Boba Fett in the wild.
Oh, jeepers! Don't we all?
And I don't have the box to it. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's still pretty. It's worth a lot without the box anyway.
Yeah, blow the dust off it, put it up for sale. There you go. If it doesn't have the number, it's fake. They're not really like these ones. Like once you sort of start seeing them around, you're not going to find any fake ones of them really. Like, I mean, I could probably see someone figuring it out, like that they're going for a lot of money, and it'd be pretty easy to duplicate them. So at some point in the future, but they don't sell like hotcakes. So that's the other thing. Like you might like I see them all the time for $1 or $2, and I list them for like 30 or 40 or whatever, and they might sit there for 2 months. But it's a.
But do you think that's because a lot of people don't know? Like, because I wouldn't have known that. You see that and you think, oh, it's got no rating on it. Oh, it's probably dodgy or whatever.
I think it's the rating doesn't matter. Like a lot of people buy Region 1 DVDs and stuff anyway, and they like Region 1 DVDs don't have ratings on them. But I think it's more that just people don't know the movie. Like it needs to get in front of their eyes for them to go, oh, I wouldn't mind checking that out. Like, so the collectors or whatever, they probably have to be sort of browsing or looking at newly listed things like that. So I think that's more the case. So like a lot of these ones I've got in this haul are probably going to sit for a while, but I don't care because there's so many of them that they'll just sort of tick along. I'll probably sell 1 or 2 each day or whatever. We should move on. Octopus, did you want to go next?
Sure can. I should have gone first actually because I got another DVD myself. I've been working on my French. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to work out what that says.
I don't know. It doesn't even yeah.
Well, I've given it to the kids to watch, so I'll find out later. What it is. So
it's not a bad one. My own personal collection.
I haven't heard them screaming yet, so it can't be too bad. So I picked up a whole bunch of French DVDs from a ambassador to Australia actually, and he was moving back to France. So I got 2 boxes of DVDs with things that I have no idea how to list or how to pronounce. So that's going to be the job for the rest of the week. Yeah, so that's
they're interesting.
Looking at DVDs.
They're interesting to list because you're trying to type out the title and it takes you 10 times longer than a normal DVD because you don't know what any of the words are. I buy heaps of foreign DVDs, like just thrifting and stuff. But I always comp them because it's one of those things that not many people really want. So there wasn't many of them released, or a lot of people get them imported because they weren't even released in Australia at all. I do quite well out of them. But again, they're another one that they might sit for a little bit. But if you're a DVD seller and you've got a lot of DVDs, it just sort of ticks over every day. So that's cool. I would be pretty happy if I found a box of French DVDs. My VHS sales are on fire. Nice. I actually listed a few before. So I'm like, I better start listing some of these DVDs. I got VHS I got last year, and they were selling. They started selling all right, and then I got these big haul of DVDs, so I put it on the back burner a bit. Judda, what do you got for us? Show and tell.
Well, when you said we're doing a bit of show and tell, I thought a good opportunity to get the footy jumpers out and show off some footy jumpers, because I get a lot of messages through Instagram because people know I collect jumpers and stuff, and just generally asking questions about it and things that I'm looking for when it comes to jumpers is unique stuff. When I'm talking modern, not vintage, and that is, you can see modern, recent home and away jumpers from the last 8 to 10 years. And a lot of them don't go for a huge money, but there's always different ones that are released throughout seasons. The ones that they've done this year, they've had the Anzac Day ones, the Good Friday, stuff like that over time. Even just your retail jumpers end up being worth a bit of money. And I've got a few here because the ones I wanted to highlight was Indigenous round, something that the AFL does every year, the Sir Doug Nichols round. They have quite often former players from teams design the jumpers that like the Aboriginal Indigenous players and sometimes current players as well, or they get other people to do it as well. And they do a fantastic job. And as a collector, you get excited every year to see the artwork that comes out for them. So stuff like that over time can be worth good money. And then if you sort of follow the footy and the Indigenous rounds coming up, they sell like absolute mad in the build up to that because people want to go to those games and wear those jumpers. So I've got a few here and it's very doggies heavy, but you can just see the art and the detail that goes into this. So this is actually, so I collect the player issue versions, which you quite often can see in the op shops, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. But this one's a 2018 Bulldogs, and that is a Luke Dullhouse match worn. So he wore that in that game. We got the 2016 Rourke Smith. That's a player issue. 2017 Shane Biggs. I'll fang through these fairly quick. He wore that in that game. So here's my favourite here, Libba. That's a 2019 match worn. I think he got the 3 Brownlow votes in that one. But you can just see the art that goes into them. It's fantastic. Another match worn there. That is Matty Boyd, former captain. And then, I got bloody heaps of them. So that's Tom Boyd, 2020, and Zane Cordy, 2020. And your boy, Wayno, Patrick Lipinski, he's now at Collingwood. That was his match worn from last year, which the Bulldogs reused this design. I'm still waiting. I bought Buku Kamas this year, so he's match worn. I'm waiting for that to turn up. But this is probably my favourite one out of the most recent, all the Indigenous ones. And this is actually the Women's League do it as well. So that's Ali Georgiadis wore that in their game. So the women's jumpers are actually doing really well now too. So that's just one to look out for if you do see it. Now, obviously the player issue stuff is going to be hard to find in op shops depending on where you are. But I'm seeing them just pop up everywhere lately. There's a lot of people starting to find that sort of stuff, which is it's cool to see. I don't know if it's now because I've put myself out there on social media that people just come to me to sort of see if I want to buy it because I'm stupid and I spend a lot of money. So maybe that's the reason I'm seeing more of it. But I'm also just seeing it across the broader community. And this is one from our good mate Christian over at Forest Vintage. He found that at Savers a few weeks ago. And that popped up on his stories. And that's actually a Brendan Goddard player issue, Essendon one. So I had to buy that one off him. That's come straight out of an op shop. I didn't find it. Where I'm from, this sort of stuff isn't really going to pop up because I'm out in the bush. I've found some player issue shorts, but that's about it. So he hooked me up with that. But our good mate just there in the chat, Bowden Falls Creek Flips, found the best one I've actually ever seen pop out of an op shop. Or one of the best ones. He found the grand final player issue, which is absolutely insane. It's a few grand in that one for sure. So yeah, but the unique jumpers, definitely, I'm always looking for that stuff. And they can go for really good money. It's even, for a good example, Bulldogs wore when Marvel in 2019 they changed it to Marvel Stadium. Bulldogs played the first game there, and they made like this ugly Thor jumper. I've got one of those as well. I've got Bailey Williams one, but they released that for a one-off game, and the player shoe stuff is worth a fortune now. But even the retail stuff, when they cleared them from the store that year, I bought a lot of them just straight off the Bulldogs website at about $80 a piece. Because I just know these things down the track are going to go for good money. And sure as shit, 12 months on, they were selling for $250 to $300 each just for a retail jumper. It wasn't a player-worn jumper. So the unique stuff, if they only wear it one game and you find one of those, it's definitely worth looking at.
And that Goddard was Christian's second decent player issue find.
Yeah, a couple, yeah.
It's like was it Mercury or Mercedes or?
Yeah, he popped a I think it was a 99. Oh no, it was a 2001 Mark Mercury trainer. So yeah, it was insane. And then the one that Bowden got, he got a Dean Solomon grand final 2000 player issue. It's just that's incredible. My mum actually, funny story. My mum went op shopping with her friend probably 12 months ago, and in Port Arlington of all places. And she rang me and she said, I'm going to go to an op shop because there was one there. And she said, what do you want me to look out for? And it's hard to explain all the things you want mum to look out for. And as a collector of footy, I just said footy jumpers. And they called me up on the video chat and they said, should we grab this one? And it was a 1999, same thing, player issue grand final long sleeve Carlton jumper. Absolutely blew me away. And it was in $5 filler bag. And of all things, it's a $500 to $1,000 jumper just sitting in a $5 filler bag, and mum's plucked it. I've spent my lifetime trying to find that sort of stuff in op shops, and mum goes in for the first time and snags one. So I ended up with it, of course. But, so they're out there. They're out there. But yeah, any sort of unique style or design is definitely worth looking at.
I was spewing when Christian found that Mercury because like we go to the same savers as he found it in savers, and I was totally gonna go down that day. I would have been there just before him because like he works, like he's a teacher, so he goes there after work. And yeah, I was totally gonna go down. At the last minute, I decided not to. So I might have snagged it before him if I had got there, but I'm glad he got it before anyone else anyway. There's a few people in the chat. I haven't been. There was a question here. There's no stupid questions. How do they end up in an op shop?
There's been situations that I'm aware of where the clubs donated a bulk lot of them. Well, that's what it sort of appeared. There'd be players that just have no care for them or even realise that their jumpers are worth stuff. So I deal with a lot of players. I know a lot of players now just because of my collection and that I share it and put it out there, and they kind of reach out to me. And in speaking to them, they get given by the club like so many jumpers, and it just fills up their cupboard. You can imagine they have, 5 to 10 different styles of training jumpers. Then throughout the year when they wear their home jumpers where they get issued to begin with, unless they start getting ripped. When it comes to Indigenous round, they get issued to, one of them gets auctioned off, and the player gets to keep the other one. So they build up a massive collection of their own jumpers that they just have no use for. It's it's like if you were given a heap of t-shirts from your work, and every few weeks you get all this work clothes. It's no good to you. Some of them are now pretty aware that their shit's worth good money, and they're making the most of it. They're not allowed to, when they're listed. It's actually against the AFL policies for them to sell them. But they just build up a massive amount of them, and then I assume they just donate them, or they've held them over years. They may have given them away to other people at training, so they may see kids hanging over the fence, they give it to them. They don't realise it or understand the significance of it. Over time, there's an old jumper sitting in the cupboard, throw it in the op shop, there'd be a heap of reasons for it to get out there. I'm seeing it more and more now. There's also a lot of prototypes out there, so you got to watch for sizing, especially if it's issued to a player and you list it as a player issue and it's actually a prototype. Then you can actually get a kick up the arse for that if somebody reports you, because there's a lot of collectors that'll know exactly that it's not, just for very minor things. It's probably almost hard to explain if you don't follow footy or don't collect, because they're just such little significant details. It's really, really tricky. So, you got to be careful with that. So you got those prototypes and that's sneaking out as well, which say, for example, ASICS made a heap of jumpers and they had these leftovers. They were spares where they trialled different GPS pouches or different placements of their logos, and they didn't end up using them. They could potentially just give them to someone who throws them in the op shop. So you got to be careful with them.
I think Brad find a shitload of port jumpers in salvos a while ago.
He had a lot of Crows ones.
Oh, Crows ones over.
Well, probably the monster, mate.
The team must have just like chucked them out.
So that would be a situation of that either the clubs pissed them off or the manufacturer had the leftovers.
Yeah. Used to work with ex-VFL player Russell Green. Tried offering him some dollars, but got rejected. He was a pretty good player. Who did he play for? Was it Hawthorn or I can't remember. Where was I? I had to. Matsia, how you going, mate? Lozzie, how you going? Bianca. My dad played in the 80s. The amount of stuff he just threw away is staggering. Yeah. I mean, like you talked about, you said before, like, imagine you had a bunch of work shirts or whatever. I worked at Video Easy and I had a ton of Video Easy shirts and I threw them away about 5 years ago. It's like, and I totally sell them for good money now. I just throw them in the bin. I kept them for years and years and years, and yeah, really dumb. No comment. Okay, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. What's an 8-armed octopus jersey worth? Let it.
Depends if it's match worn.
About
Yeah.
350.
Yeah, it depends if it's war worn.
Needs ink stains.
All right.
What do you have?
That's the end of show and tell. So we'll move on. I've got some underrated or overrateds here. Most of them aren't serious. Oh, there's a couple of serious ones. Christian's put one in. Op shopping every day, Monday to Friday. So I think he wants if it's worth it or not. Around here, it's not.
I think it depends because, like, I can't do it, right? But I go to 3 times a week because it's next door to my post, and you know, some weeks you get nothing, and then one week every day I get something completely different, and it's like crazy how quickly it changes. But I have a friend that works next door to a Savers, like literally next door. So he goes before work, at lunchtime, and after. And the stuff he gets on a daily basis or just sees is just incredible. So I think it could be underrated, but I think, you know, don't get so fixed up on like, oh, I'm not outsourcing, so I'm missing out. Like, because there's always going to be more and more that's coming.
Yeah, I was going to say Savers, like if I was near a Savers, I reckon I'd go every day. Yeah. Like just constant stuff going out. Like even while you're in there, they're just constantly putting stuff out.
If people don't know, I'll go. I'll spend an hour, do my loop. By the time I finished, I start again. I'll spend 2 hours guaranteed every time.
Yeah, I op shop every day, but I'm in different towns over 3 hours. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like traveling around and stuff. Same thing. Do it every day if you can get the good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd all probably be feeling pretty similar on that.
I think it depends on the individual too and what your business model is set up like. Because, well, same with what Chris is saying. For me, it's probably not the best option because for me to get to a good batch of op shops, it's a 20-minute drive, 20-minute drive. So, you know, that's 40 minutes each day if I was going to do it each day. And for me as full-time, I never want to rely on op shops as my main way of sourcing. So that's a personal preference as much as I love op shops. And yeah, if there's one close, and I think it would be fantastic to do it every day because if you're getting that turnover in the op shops, you're bound to get some gems. But for me to do it every day, and if I was going to do the trek that I usually do, that's half a day gone, and some days it's shit house. You don't get a lot. I'm very picky with things that I get now, whereas if I do an online order, it takes me less than 5 minutes to order 2-3 grams worth of stock, and I don't have to go anywhere to get it. It gets delivered to my door. I can put it up and make money. So for me personally, I wouldn't do it every day, but I love it, and I think it's definitely viable. It's that's just a bit of a trip for me,
Yeah, like I couldn't do it every day around here because I got to drive to different towns because Traralgon's only got like two sort of 3 good op shops, and then Morwell's got like 1 good one, and then Moe's got a couple. That it takes sort of all day to go to them, so I wouldn't be able to do it all day, and then I would literally see the same shit every day. Like, you know, these op shops, they might put out new DVDs once every 2 weeks, like some of them. So just be a complete waste of time, basically. Love Savers for slow stuff that never seems to move. Should give it away after 6 months of the shop. I see a lot of just shitty clothing in Savers that just sits there like there every time you go there, and they just literally put everything out. They must put everything out that they get. They put clothing with holes in it, everything. This is a bit like me. I normally just go into either my lounge room or spare room and stuff. But yeah, I'm the same as you, Judda. I need bulk deals of DVDs, things like that. To keep, I'm not doing the level you're doing, but I couldn't live off just thrifting, especially living around here.
Yeah.
What about you, Octopus?
I've been banned from all the op shops around here.
Why?
Just too handsome. That's the only thing I can put it down to.
You're stopping the old ladies from doing all their work.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Plus, I've been banned at one post office as well, so I overturned that ban actually. Had a "Do Not Serve" poster in the back.
Have not walked into one in 4 years. Wow, that's crazy. I don't think I could not go to the op shops. I love it. It's a way of getting out of the house.
Purely a hobby for me.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we didn't mention there is because usually on a weekly basis, if I'm in routine, I would go to, the same shops every week at least once. And after you do that for 6 weeks in a row, and they know who you are if you're coming at the same time, so you get the same staff, build those relationships, and that's where you get the gold. Because they'll put things aside, or you love this, yeah, I'll keep it aside, or they'll give you a discount, take a couple of dollars off, or it all adds up, right? And I think that is worth so much more. Even if you rock up and there's nothing this week, you rock up next week and they're like, oh yeah, we saved this all for you, so you have half price or something, just take it all, kind of. And that has always paid dividends higher than just going in and thinking, there's nothing here. It's usually always worked out better.
Yeah. I totally agree. I got one here from Bowden. Double quarter pounders. I think they're underrated because I fucking love them.
I've never had one.
Oh, what's wrong with you, mate? Too healthy.
I've had a quarter, but that's a long time ago.
They're totally different, the doubles. All you can taste is meat.
I don't know that one either.
You don't eat meat, so
yeah. So 10 years.
What about you, Octopus? Are you do octopuses eat macas?
I don't know, mate.
You stumped him.
I don't know.
You broke the octopus.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, that's right. I just had to factory reset. No, I wouldn't go nowhere near a quarter pounder, let alone a double quarter pounder, mate. Just clog up the arteries. I've got 9 hearts to worry about.
I actually gave Nelson a cheeseburger today. I don't like I used to feed Hammer years ago. Me and my ex, we would buy Hammer heaps of treats. Like go to Safeway and the freaking 12 cinnamon donut for $1, and we'd just feed them to him, let him eat whatever he wants. And then he started to get sick. So we just stopped doing that. So I only let Nelson eat dog food, but he was constipated last night. I was up half the night with him outside while he's trying to push his poo out. So I went and got him a cheeseburger to try and give him shits, basically.
We had to do that with our fucking almost 4-year-old. You're doing it with your dog.
He's because he's only ever had dog food. When I first got it out for him, he was just he had no idea it was even food, because it just looks like a little plastic thing, basically. And once he took a bite, he was all over it. He loved that shit. So he's probably going to be a fat man.
I'm going to say Macca's as a whole is overrated. I'm going to go with McDonald's is overrated. There we go. That'll fire a few people up in the chat, I reckon.
I think fast food is just overrated in general. It's weird me saying this because I eat fucking heaps of. The reason it isn't great, but it's the convenience that pulls you in. That's the only thing that pulls me into it is the convenience. I'm single. It's just so much easier to just buy takeaway or whatever. Which is going to be changing this week for sure. But I've said that before as well. Big Mac all the way. This octopus doesn't eat them. Loopy cat. Overrated. Meat to bun ratio is out. Most important thing, pickle to meat ratio. Yeah, no, that's what I think. That's why I prefer the double quarter pounder, because you can just taste meat basically. Everyone's got opinions about Macca's. The onions are smaller in the triple cheese. That's all the difference. I asked for no onions. I don't eat onions. They're shit.
Taking up too much real estate.
He's gonna shit all over your ass there. Yeah, well, he couldn't get it out at all. So if it helps him, he's outside at the moment. So hopefully he's done one out there.
You know how to fix it, Wayno? Just put a bit of soap on your finger and straight up there, and it'll come out straight away.
He'll never talk to me again. Brad, you're dead to me.
It's another one. Another one.
Actually, she shouted me an ice cream at Macca's the other week. Actually, the ice cream. Actually, that's something that isn't overrated. It's very underrated. Macca's soft
I love
serve.
the hash browns at Macca's. Hash browns any day of the week.
Macca's breakfast is actually tastes legit. Like you just friggin' made yourself a bacon egg muffin at home. It's good.
It's probably the healthiest of the bunch. I'm not saying it's healthy. It's the healthiest.
Yeah, we don't care. Do you care, Octopus? You're up there. You don't like any sports, do you?
No.
Yeah, someone messaged me just before the show with an underrated or overrated. Where is it? And he said it's totally not related to State of Origin, but then he said, "Oh, I won't be watching the show though. I'm watching the State of Origin." And I said, "Well, I'll put State of Origin in as overrated." But he did put Adrian Martin. He put Bunnings merch, including trade shirts, hoodies, hats, bears, etc. But I will keep selling them if people want to overpay for them. Well, they sell, so they, well, I wouldn't say they're overrated if they sell for good money.
I think there's certain things out. Like I've never sold the teddy, but then again, I've never found one. But
I've seen
I don't know. Do the teddies go well? Like I wouldn't have.
I don't think so.
Because you can pick them up anywhere, like from the actual Bunnings. Whereas like the actual clothing and stuff, even like the Reese Plumbings, that goes every day. I actually got a couple of middies, electronics or whatever it is. That they've done all right as well.
Yeah, I got a mate that works there. I should bloody hit him up.
Yeah.
The good thing about Macca's breakfast is that they serve nugs and cheeseburgers. I don't think I could eat nuggets for breakfast.
Oh, yuck.
Overrated by buyers, underrated by resellers. That'll be for the Bunnings merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ring lights versus box lights. This is from Plushy Flips. It's not really underrated or overrated, but I wouldn't mind seeing what you guys use. I use box lights, but I just haven't got around to. I don't like them. I think they fucking take up heaps of room. You can see them behind me. So I just haven't got around to getting some ring lights, but I'm sort of planning on just doing that to make some space. But what do you guys use?
Both.
I use a box.
A box.
A box.
Oh no, so I use box lights. Box lights.
No, I use a box.
A box.
I'll take a photo of it tomorrow and I'll send it to you. It's just a box in the window.
Oh, okay, so you just use natural light.
Yeah, just natural light. I don't do any listings after 2:00.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. What do you use, Judda?
Yeah, I'm both. So I got a couple of boxes here. The box for all clothing. I used to be natural. I was always natural light. I prefer natural light, but yeah, you got to rely on sort of timing and stuff, which is a pain. But I've also got 2 ring lights here, so when I do flat lay clothing, jeans and stuff, a lot of my shit, like shirts and stuff, I hang on the wall now. It's just easier, and I find it sells better without the white background. Don't come at me with the snakes resellers, but especially for like the vintage style stuff, the jeans and whatnot, I flat lay 2 box lights over the top. That's enough for me. It works good. And then I have 2 box lights for, the games, DVDs, toys, everything, either side, and then I have ring light over the top and in front now. So I use both for that stuff. So yeah, I got a fair bit of shit going on, but now it just stays where it is and it's stationary. But yeah, that's all going to change soon. But
I get a lot of reflection off DVD cases with the box lights, which shits me. So yeah, I don't know if that'll be the same with the ring light, but I guess I'll try it out when I get one. But yeah, it's weird. Sometimes I have to take the photos further away and then crop them to get rid of the glare.
I found that because I do a lot of sealed figures, so you get the reflection, same thing off the front of the clear part of the figure. So that's why I put the box light either side, so you've got the lights coming inwards, and then I have the ring light over the top and nothing in front. So it's enough brightness to kind of show what's in the actual box, and you don't get that full on blast at the front. Some of them aren't. They're not fucking amazing photos. I'm no photographer, but they come up good enough. People know what's going on. So
yeah, that's sort of like I've just got the two box lights there, and the way it doesn't really look like it, but the way they're set up, they don't actually come in on the DVD. Like they're out that way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just can't see anything. It's just all glare. Add more reflection for my ring lights and the box lights. So I'm still going to get them just for the convenience of them being smaller. Yeah, it's the same.
This is like overrated, underrated here, Wayno. Overrated, underrated, right? This is kind of on par with the debate with free post, paid post. Box light, ring light. This is a good topic. I reckon this could have a good rivalry.
Yeah. Well, there would be people that people
be set in their ways.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, photos are everything. If it's not a good photo, it won't sell. Yeah, I've still got some stuff on my store.
I'd argue that. I actually had a listing update the other day without photos and it sold. So it's an iPad waiting to happen, but I have no idea how it happened. And I went to print off the labels the other day and no photo.
Every once in a while, one of the old DVDs that I had listed will sell, and I just see the photo come up on my phone. It's like, wow, it's so just really dark, sort of yellow color. Use a scanner. I think that would take too much time to scan all the covers for me, anyway. That's interesting. I haven't heard anyone doing that. What else we got? Yeah, Tash. All about that Tash. She put in seafood. Overrated or underrated?
I don't like where this is going, Wayno.
I don't mind a bit of calamari.
I say I find my tentacle.
Do you eat
the best seafood that you'll ever have is the one that you scrunch up and throw straight in the fucking bin. Overrated shit. Slimy, smelly, fuck that. Sorry, Octo. No, I'm not eating you at least.
I was going to say, I'm happy if you're not eating me, mate.
I'm real hit and miss with seafood. I love some of it, and the rest of it can go get fucked. You a seafood man, Chris?
Yes and no. Like certain things I'm all down for, and some things are like, not for me. But I think I've probably become starting to have more of it because Carla, she's been brought up on seafood, so she's has it more. So the more I have it, obviously, the more I guess I come around. But some of it I'm like, but other like octopus, I would never have. Not because Octo's here, but it didn't do it for me. Whereas calamari, I love calamari, so it's just a weird, in that sense.
Yeah, like I'm weird with prawns. Like I really love prawns when I have one or two, but then when I have like the third one, it just feels like it's way too much. Yeah, they're tiny. Like I don't know what it is about them, but I love fish and like crab meat, stuff like that. I just don't like any of the fucking shellfish and stuff.
You like
I
crab
like
meat with
tuna one
shellfish?
night once.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. It's got to be Wayno's photos if you sell DVDs, yeah. It wouldn't be the first time. I didn't think you would ask. Agree, it stinks. I seafood and I eat it. Some seafood fried is good. Scotty, you can fry a dog turd and it'll taste good. Fried food's just good. Put some batter on it. I love lobster. Had fresh caught fish for dinner tonight. Plus smoked salmon is the bomb.
I know a few people that eat salmon, and they think they're better than everyone because they eat it.
Yeah.
I reckon
Yeah.
salmon eaters. They piss
I don't
me
think
off.
I've ever had.
You need to have nagari. Nagari's the best.
What?
Nagari.
What's that?
I've seen Carla and Brad and Jazz having a nagari today, I think it was. Sushi.
Yeah, I don't really do sushi. I've had it like once. I got one here from Rack Raiders. I don't know what's going on with the Rack Raiders, but they've sent me marriage as overrated or underrated.
Is Mrs. Octopus around? Wait a sec.
Well, yeah. I guess the Octopus and Judda can't say anything because they're both married. Might get you in a bit of shit.
I'll say something. You won't be watching. It's good. No, it's overrated there. Just a bit of paper.
One's telepathic. I'm not saying anything.
Marriage is one thing I've never really understood. Like, I totally get when people want to get married. Like, I totally understand it. But I feel like a lot of people get married just because they think they're supposed to. And I just don't think that's right. Like, it's just sort of like an old tradition that's everyone just did. And I feel like people get sort of sucked into it. Me and my ex used to get asked all the time when we were going to get married, when we were going to have kids. And we're like, we're not. Like, we don't want to. Like, and people will be like, you'll change your mind. It's like, I will.
Just want to spend all their money on double quarter pounders.
Yeah. Overrated. Yeah, they'll do it.
Weddings are good, Dave. Free piss. Nothing wrong with a free piss. I don't mind a wedding. Going to a wedding if it's not mine. Get on there. They usually shout the frothies, have a good night. You know, that's all right.
Well, yeah, it's all right if you don't have to pay for the wedding.
Yeah,
that's it. So yeah, if you're going to a wedding, I think marriage is underrated because it's free frothies, and who doesn't love free frothies? It's only overrated if you go there and it's just got that fucking craft beer shit and there's no VB.
It probably, like, I reckon a lot of weddings these days would have craft beer, wouldn't they? Like,
for sure. Yeah.
Happy to be engaged. Probably will one day, but got better things to spend money on. Now, that's what it's sort of like a religious thing, isn't it? Like, that's what I always thought. Like, marriage has always come from, like, a religion. Like, a lot of non-religious people get married. Off topic, great to see that two Aussie thrifters purchased a cute little storage shed. I mean, it's pretty cool what they're doing over there. Like, I reckon they're going to have a shitload of fun working together. Like, you can already sort of see it in their stories and stuff. Like, it's pretty sweet what they got set up, I reckon. Maybe us Victorians will have to band together and do something similar. I got one more, and it's from Toby, and he already left, and it's Melbourne Demons. They're overrated.
Yeah, overrated.
The other two don't care. They don't watch
What's a demon?
I could go on an hour-long rant about it, but I'm just going to shut my mouth and be a good boy.
Yeah, my housemate Barracks he's mad Melbourne supporter. They had their time last year. They've got to wait another however many 50 years for their. They were pretty good the other night, but yeah, I think they've been overrated all year. They've been winning games through 10-minute periods in the game, and that's it. So I wouldn't say storage shed, but yeah, it's been some fun so far. I mean, if you pay for it, yeah. Overrated. What's a Melbourne Demon?
Dan Andrews, apparently.
Toby Green, overrated or underrated, Judda?
Oh, he's done. He's done enough.
He fucking hates him.
You little slimy grub.
He's a good player, though. Shouldn't your roommate? Yeah, he should be going skiing. Sounds like a Victorian certificate. All right, that's all we have got for the underrated or overrated. So that will probably end the show, I guess. Thanks everyone. Thanks all you guys for coming. It's been good to catch up. It's not as bad as Selwood. You got to pick one player to come to the Bulldogs, Judda. Green or Selwood?
Oh. Depends. When am I getting him? I love Joel Selwood. I think he's fantastic.
Okay.
Hard-nosed captain, durable, doesn't miss games due to suspension. I'd take Selwood every day of the week. But if it was right now and, age, if age was a factor, you got to pick little Muppet over in the plastic pretender New South Wales team.
Yeah. Overrated. Hey, Nathan, how you going? Packed up that
Here he is.
Yep, hit the thumbs up. I always forget to say that. 52 in. Thanks for watching, everyone. Beta Warriors was on tonight, so I actually thought we might drop quite a few people off, but as is reign true, rugby league doesn't mean shit, so everyone came here to watch instead.
People need something actually good to watch, Wayno. That was the thing.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, thanks you guys for coming on. Thanks everyone for watching. We will hopefully be back next week with the Four Horsemen. If we can't work it out again, I will still do it. So I'm not quite as busy as I was the last couple of weeks, so I should be able to organise something else if the guys decide to be pussies. All right, thanks everyone again. We'll see you all next week. Bye.